Video. We're still here at the Rubber Tramp Rendezvous, and I'm taking the opportunity to go out and meet some amazing people and amazing rigs and getting a variety, and there's every kind of possible rig here. And Paul has one of my favorite, a step van.
Yeah.
So Paul, say hi and let's talk about
Hi.
your step van.
This is a retired bread delivery truck. It was owned by Marita down in Orlando, and when they went out of business with Hostess, when Twinkies disappeared, that's when it went on the market. So I picked it up a little bit later, a couple years back later.
And so tell us about it, the mechanicals.
The reason I bought this kind of truck is for the motor alone. I bought it around the motor. It has a Cummins 4BT 4-cylinder turbo diesel. So it's extremely simple. It's all mechanical. It's only 3.9 liters and super fuel efficient. I've been averaging 14.1 miles per gallon since I left home. So yeah, it's been doing pretty great, and I think I have a lot of room for improvement and potential.
And I see it's got a stick shift.
Yeah, it's a 4-speed manual. So that's probably a weak point where I could put in a 6-speed manual and get a much nicer top end and a little bit better highway gear.
Right. And for those of you who say Cummins 4BT, that means nothing. The Cummins 4BT is a legendary engine.
Yeah.
It's a tiny little diesel. It's a great big van, and yet it's still getting 14 miles to the gallon. People will take them out and put them in their pickups and get 20 miles to the gallon. But the big thing is 500,000 miles, 1,000,000 miles, they will run forever. Have you given thought to switching over to veggie oil? Or
I have, yeah, but it's kind of last priority. It's running so good right now, building out the living space and getting all my systems working, and then I'll kind of focus on that. A second tank is definitely possible, and recycled veggie oil, filtered veggie oil and stuff.
Go down the road smelling like French fries.
Yeah.
Not bad.
I wanted to do that for years, honestly. So that's a great option to tinker with the van.
So why did you choose a step van? I mean, there's lots of choices: RVs, vans, box trucks. Why a step van?
Well, I wanted to go with the best space per mile per gallon ratio, and I don't think it can be beat with this. I got 112 cubic feet of living space, and that's not including any of the cab. So it's really big, and there's a lot of reasons. The stealth capability of this is awesome.
Right.
If you're smart about parking.
Some people think that a big step van would have terrible stealth, but I think they have some of the best. You can't go into residential areas because they stick out like a sore thumb. But every town has an industrial area, a business area. Find an area with a couple of box trucks or delivery vans outside. You just fit in.
Yep.
And so how long have you been on the road?
I only left October 21st or October 20th. So since then, not even 3 months yet.
Okay. And are you going full time?
Yeah, I've been full time. Back in Orlando, I got a couple projects rolling. I'm really into Volkswagens. You'll see that inside, but I have a Volkswagen bus project back in Orlando. So I got an RV back there too. So I got a couple things that I'm getting off the ground. So.
And one thing everyone is always interested in is how are you supporting yourself on the road?
Well, I worked for a major corporation for 10 years, and I was deli manager, and it just wasn't for me, and I decided to do my own thing and pursue my own entrepreneurial endeavor, and so I just retired from there, and I've saved up money in that amount of time. I was really lucky because I didn't fall into that trap where you get a car payment and you get a house payment, and then you must continue your income at a very high level. So I'm a big proponent of trying to help other people realize, I drive an older car with no car payment, and I have the ability to have 9 vehicles, So I don't know. I just the whole
You've been frugal with your money, and you have a savings now.
Yeah. So I'm just working from that and building my business. So.
And you are starting a YouTube channel?
Yeah, I've been doing it since I left. So my first real day of doing videos regularly was June 1st. But it's funny, 7 years ago I have vlogs on there that I just didn't keep at it, and but I'm back, and it's going great. I'm having a great time making videos, producing them.
And so tell people where your YouTube is, where they can find you.
Okay, my name is Paul Barger, and that's the name of my channel. But you can also search Bread Trucker. So that's kind of a name that I've developed for the truck. It used to be a bread delivery truck, so my IG is Bread Trucker, Twitter is Bread Trucker, just all one word. And you can find me on YouTube that way as well, Bread Trucker, one word.
Good,
so,
good.
Yep.
So, would you mind if we took a look inside your rig?
Please, I would love it. Come on in.
Let's go ahead and do that. So I see you have a Helio out here, and that's a source of hot water and a pump. Tell us about it.
It was just pretty affordable off of Amazon, and it's nice because it heats the water in the sun. You leave it out all day, and you come home to a nice warm shower. But you can also use it to spray off dirty feet and whatever, and holds about 3 gallons. But yeah, it's pretty convenient. I don't have much experience with it. I just busted it out, and started using it. But it's really neat. I like it.
So here we are in your home, and you're doing it really simply and just starting out basic carpentry.
Yep. When I got the truck, it had been stripped of all the bread truck racks that were in here, and the person that got it from the bread company put in these 2x4 racks, and it was used for home rehab, property renovation kind of thing, just general use. So they had tools of all kinds in here, and there was a lot more racks. As you can see, like, there's some sawmucks here. What I did was I just cut away the stuff that I didn't want. So I opened this space up for a bed, and I sleep here. So my plan is to build an L rack that will just slide out, so I can take the cushion from the back where the backrest would be and extend my bed a little bit, so make it wider. And I just, I'm using these just for random, wherever they're placed. I kind of...
They were there when you got them, so make them work.
So I have 2 phases to this build. The second phase is to gut everything and make it more of a tiny house. So that's why I'm just making this cheap and easy, making it work with what I got. So, and this is, I'm going to travel in this for probably the next year or so. Do videos and all that kind of thing. So that's what I just built this desk, and I got the battery bank here. So I do a lot of video editing, and I wanted a lot of power as far as computing goes and stuff like that. So
the power is best with a desktop and the big monitor. So you have a desktop and a big monitor.
Yep, and I can play TV here too, and I wanted this to really kind of feel like a work area, like I come here to work, and I can eat here as well, so it's a nice little dining area or breakfast area, but I have 6-volt batteries. I have 2 6-volt batteries, AGM, and it's 380 amp hours of battery, but I don't have solar yet. So right now it's running off my motor and it charges on the go, but it doesn't keep up. So it's a really good power system as far as its capacity, but I need to get the solar, and I kind of hope to do that here. So I want to order some stuff from Amazon, maybe pick it up from a UPS, and get that done while I'm here. I have a roof rack as well, so I could put it up on the roof.
Oh, roof rack's ideal.
Yeah, and I have rain rails, so the roof rack I can get it's just a basic cargo van roof rack, very cheap. So
just make sure it's wide enough. A lot of them won't go to the
Well, I'm going to have to make my own cross members.
Yes.
It's definitely not wide enough.
Right.
I'll use those poles for something different,
Yeah.
But, yeah. So I have like full-size garbage and stuff here.
Because you got so much room. You don't have to be skimping at all.
Yeah, and it's so much room in here that I'm not worried about losing. I have thick walls and stuff like that, but losing a couple inches here and there is not crucial. And the great thing about a step van is that everything is flat, everything's 90-degree angles, and it's incredible to build with. It's super simple.
It is.
Yeah.
The first vehicle I lived in was a box van, and
cool.
it was only a 12x8 box, and then a van nose. And but I loved building in there. Straight walls, everything's square.
Yeah.
And like you, I started out with a roll-up back door, and didn't do, but I wish I had what you've done. You've pulled out your back door.
Yeah, I had a lot of advice not to do that. Like, oh, you can't do that. But
I think you're right.
All it did was clack around and make tons of noise.
Yeah.
Tons of air leaks,
And
where air would just blow right through.
To me, the horrible thing was the dust.
Oh yeah,
Dust just poured in here.
It still does kind of come in because I haven't completely sealed it from the outside yet, but it is very bad. But what I did here was I put in a 32-inch residential door. It's a fiberglass exterior door, so PVC frame, so it can't rot. And you know, it's not the stealthiest thing from the outside, but I wasn't too worried about this, and I kind of looked at this for the future for where I do phase 2 and build it more into a house.
Right.
I want a nice residential door, but it had to be. I had to order it because it's such a short door. Most doors are much taller.
Yes. Right.
So
for an 8-foot house.
Yeah. So it's only 6 feet 2 inches, I think, but. And I could have gone with 34-inch in hindsight, maybe or 36-inch standard door, but I didn't want to get too big.
But it's plenty, you know. Yeah. Let's see. Have you ever had a problem with it not being wide enough?
No, not at all.
That's really all that counts.
Yep.
And what are you doing with these bamboos?
Yeah, this is
that
kind
is bamboo,
of
right?
Yeah. In Orlando, I have a good friend that had a yard full of it. I'm talking hundreds of them growing, and they grow like it's a grass.
Yeah.
They grow wild, and they'll take over your whole yard. So I was like, I harvested some of the outside and just made them a little smaller, and I'm gonna use it for all sorts of stuff. So I have these ugly 2x4s in here. What I thought was I could split them, cover my 2x4s, and just I kind of want to go with a little bit of like a tiki feel, or you know,
South Pacific.
Yeah. I'm definitely a ukulele guy. I want to go to Fiji and Hawaii, and I've always been interested in that kind of thing, so I definitely want a little bit of like a tiki feel in the truck. So cool. Yeah, and I love making like walking sticks and you know just all sorts of stuff. I want to make a shifter out of bamboo, and I don't know, it's just a neat material to work with. But my 72 bus bumper is also I find parts along the way. So my 72 bus back in Orlando that I'm building, it needs some major help. So I'm just keeping that until I'm gonna ship it back. But this is my little kitchen area.
This was just in the van when you got it, so you kept it, and it works out perfect.
Yeah, I cut the parts away that I didn't want. There was cross members and stuff that I didn't really need, so I just opened it up, and I have a very basic kitchen. I have one burner stove, you know, a little $25 stove. Sure. Omega masticating juicer, like a drill, like screw juicer, and that's really all I need, you know. Little container of water here, but.
And what are you doing for? I always ask people. Will never forgive me if I don't. What are you doing for a shower?
Okay, so this area over here where this pocket door comes in is different than the rest of the truck. It's kind of hard to see because I have a lot of stuff done, but it's aluminum on the back, and I'm going to make that my shower stall because I can't really attach anything to that wall anyways. That will be my bathroom area shower stall, and I'm going to make a little toilet box that will slide out from underneath the cabinet and go into that area when it needs to be used. And then you just slide it away and put a like a drainage pan down when you know you're showering. And just pick it up when you're not using it. I do have a water tank with me. I need to get it hooked up, so I have a bunch of equipment in here that needs to be installed that I just haven't gotten to yet. Like 2 ceiling fans, max air, you know, power ceiling fans for this. And for now, I have a buddy heater with a 20-gallon tank and the hose, and that warms this area really nice.
Yeah.
All these walls are just raw. I have insulation I'm going to put up. I'm going to keep it simple. I'm going to do Reflectix just on the walls because I have an air gap, and then I'll put simple boards over top of that, and I may do that this week as well. So I may run into like a Home Depot, pick up a whole load of lumber. One thing I do have under there, I haven't even used yet, is one of those washing machines that is so popular now with the kind of manual with the spinner. So I'm excited to have the ability to do my own laundry on board as well. Is really cool. So.
Well, Paul, thank you so much for sharing your life and your story. And you're early on, and you know, maybe if you come back to the RTR next year, we'll do a follow-up.
Excellent. Yeah. That way you can see what it's like when it's done, for sure.
Yeah.
And this has been a great time so far. I really want to come back next year.
Good.
Yeah.
So everyone, I hope you've gotten some good ideas, been inspired. You can do this. This is, you know, he bought this van, and the interior was essentially done. He just kind of moved in and made it a home. And I bet you can do that too. So until next time, if you got anything from this, I hope you like us on YouTube, subscribe to the channel, and we'll talk to you later.
All right. Bye-bye.